Welcome to Disclosure Day, everyone. I wish. I don't think we're gonna get it real disclosure in any real sense, like ever, probably. But I can hope. I can dream. And before we get into the film, I would just like to talk about Spielberg a little bit, because he and I have such a special relationship to me. He is a father to me. I never met him, but spiritually, I've talked a lot about spiritual parenthood and how the many male directors actors, just public figures of sorts that I consider fathers to me, that I've never met, and you don't need to. You don't ever need to meet them for them to be the people who raised you. But Spielberg is like the ultimate father. He's basically my version of God, I would say. Because he's like more than a father almost, but this guiding spiritual light. So God, essentially. But yeah, I would really encourage you to check out some of my favorite written work about Spielberg is of course Armin White's Make Spielberg Great Again. And yes, it is an incendiary title. And but it's some of the best work I have ever seen written about Spielberg. He has so much reverence for him, and he just really hits so many of the cores that make up what really makes Spielberg great. Um, of course, Armin White, if you don't recognize the name, y- you probably know him as the guy that like hated Toy Story. He's contrarian through and through, total edgelord. um, Great writer though. I don't agree with him on I hardly agree with him on anything. But I'm so drawn to his work because it is just always so well written and he takes such a firm, confident stance. Um it's not just contrarianism for contrarianism's sake. It's like he really has something to say. It's not just like, well, fuck Toy Story because I fucking hate toys or whatever. Or fuck those kids, you know? It's like he has a real stance to where like you read it and you're like, hmm, maybe I kind of fucking hate Toy Story too. I mean, fucking Woody, dude, who even likes him, you know? But I'm just kidding. I like Toy Story, but you know you'll read some of his stuff and you kind of get a different stance on it, which I think it's like so many of these film criticism, art criticism, just discourse has become so homogenized that I like a little, you know, interjection of a little edge lord in there. He does let his political leanings, I think, you know, it leads him to throwing out the baby with the bathwater a lot of the time. Because you'll notice if you do pick up this book, that what he dubs the Obama era is like the book just goes off the rails. Like it's just like, and I think he hated Disclosure Day, and it's like it's a little funny how much he hates Tony Kushner. Like he really, really has it out for that. And it is a little funny. And even reading it in this, it's like it sounds like it's gonna be funny, but then you read it and you're just like, oh my God, really? The BFG is an Obama allegory? Like, dude, you need to chill out. like like Lincoln, yeah, obviously. But I mean, dude. And he just and I think that anyone can be a film critic no matter what your political leanings are, but it's like, look, we've all seen Trump derangement syndrome, but this is like Obama psychosis. It's crazy. Like it's just like you need to let it go, Armin, and find your way back to the art a little bit. But hey, man, you know what? He's gonna do what he's gonna do, and we still have this book, which is great because I think what I have a problem with and why this movie really moved me personally is that I think like we've become so devoid of emotions and being, you know, vulnerable or raw in any like real way that it's like disconnected us from the world. And I feel like, you know, my generation started that like liking things ironically, which is like I mean, I literally it's just one of the things I hate most in this world. Because it's just such craven cowardice. It's like it's fine to like something or to be really into something and other people don't. It doesn't really fucking matter. Something you're gonna get shot in the face. Like it's fine to like something. I mean, Armin hates Jaws. I mean, he goes back and forth. I don't even know where he lands, quite honestly, with Jaws now, but it's like he's Jaws. And there's a whole book, and then it's like you're reading it and you're just like, I love Jaws. I don't agree with him on that. But I respect it. I respect it and I love the writing. Because it's like, yeah, okay, there we go. He lays out a sound argument for why he hates Jaws. Go for it, dude. And I feel like we just kind of really lost that about ourselves in this day and age. I feel like the more stuff I see from the younger generation that comes out, like Obsession, which I hated, feels I mean, it's gonna come out that was written by AI. It has to. I can't believe I'm the only person that's recognized that about the film. Because I'm like, if it wasn't solely written by AI, it was heavily utilized. I mean, that doesn't feel like it was written or made by a human being at all. I mean, it's so crazy to me that we've accepted and adopted this sort of very emotionless, disconnected uh lifestyle where it's like, does anyone feel anything anymore? And I got Armin. I know he does. I know he feels a lot of hate. Sometimes we all need a little hateful bitch in our lives. And thank God for Armin. We got you, buddy. But of course, Spielberg is quite the opposite of that. And that's also why I love him too. But I think some of the criticism of this film just really got me disheartened because it's so goddamn brain dead. It's just like, first of all, I am just completely taken aback by people being like, course, you can tell this film was written by an 80-year-old, which it wasn't written by him. And he's not just some 80-year-old, he's Steven fucking Spielberg. So put some respect on that goddamn name. What the fuck have you ever done? Okay? If you're coming at me, if you're coming at Spielberg, you're coming at me and you're coming at me with a knife, and I'm gonna come with one right back. Okay? I'm telling you, you don't go after Spielberg, not in front of me. And don't ever do it. Just don't do it. If you're thinking about bad mouthing Steven Spielberg, keep it to your fucking self, you goddamn dumb bitch. Okay? Like, shut the fuck up and lock yourself in a goddamn closet for the rest of your life. At least for the rest of my life. Okay? No one wants to hear it. Um, but I mean, it's the same like brain dead. Like the some of the criticism of this is like it's like the same criticism of like Lord of the Rings, and they're like, why didn't the eagles just fly the hobbits to Mordor? It's like, do you have a brain in your head? Did you not just watch like the whole thing had to be clandestine journey because of the fucking Eye of Sauron? The eagles fly there. He's like, oh great, there we go. I didn't even need to look for you guys. You flew right into my eye, killed, dead. I got my ring back. Excellent. Reign of Terror. I mean, what are you do? What are you even thinking? You know? But with that aside, I think like with Disclosure Day, like saying like it's so out of touch to be like, why would somebody put this stuff on the news? And it's like to legitimize it. I mean, it's like they even talk about this in the film that it's like if we just dumped aliens online, people would think it was AI. It'd be so easy for, private entities and government entities to delegitimize it that way. Instead of it's like blasting on CNN and all these news networks, it's like, okay, yeah, it brings some legitimacy to the whole thing. And I mean, of course, it's eventually going to make its way to social media. But it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to sit and wait for somebody's dumbass TikTok reaction, or are you going to just like go straight to streaming the live fucking event? I mean, it's really just a weird argument to me. It's like, I don't know if you understand life or anything. And it's even mentioned in the film. So I'm not sure if you just weren't paying attention or you just I don't know. I don't know if people don't understand things anymore. That's certainly a thing. I mean, That's my job all day long, talking to people, and there is zero retention on them. That's like a little theme that I've been noticing that's like very scary. Is that you can tell people, you can write it, you can have them read it back to you, and wow, the minute they are not staring at it, it just leaves them. So I don't know. Maybe that's like some weird thing happen. Maybe it's aliens. I don't know. Maybe they're doing it on purpose. Maybe there's already been disclosure and the aliens have already erased our memories. Could be. I don't even know. But I getting back to the whole point of this is that what really moved me about it is that Spielberg is really the opposite of these things. He feels, I think sometimes it can be a little bit easy to be cynical, and instead I think sometimes it could be the harder route to actually find the heart in everything as much as Spielberg does. So I really appreciate that about him. And of course, like Armin so eloquently points out in his book, he is the most populist filmmaker that we have. And I'm so glad that we have him during these difficult times. So, with Disclosure Day, Spielberg reimagines the story of Adam and Eve with Daniel and Margaret. His aliens come to us as the aliens among the Garden of Eden. The possibilities of knowledge could ruin us. If aliens created us, I mean, the absence of faith may crumble the laws of which we built our civilizations, purpose of life, morality, you name it. Even if they're not responsible for our creation, their existence alone could do a lot to nullify the existence of God. But the stance that Spielberg takes is, what if we're all a creation? Maybe the story of God may shift, but it doesn't necessarily disprove anyone's theories about how we all came to be. Why does the existence of different beings denote the inexistence of a higher power? Like, maybe they don't even know how we all got here. Why is that always the assumption? That they may be more advanced scientifically, but why do we assume that existence is strictly a mathematical equation rather than a philosophical one? The pervasive truth of Spielberg persists no matter what. We need each other to continue. We cannot do it alone. God created companion for this very reason. Adam was created to tend the land, Eve created to bring life to it. Daniel was created to analyze, and Margaret was created to understand it. But to make the collective personal, Spielberg tells us the story of two little kids who were in tune with the power of knowledge. And fear has a way of closing doors, walling off events and histories to who we once were. Many times we create new personas in order to avoid ever having to face the pain of remembrance. Maybe viewing God and the devil as good versus evil is too simple. Scanlon is God, fearing that if we get a taste of forbidden knowledge, we may not be strong enough to interpret it. Hugo, he's the heretic. Give them the fruit. Faith should be reciprocal. Learning is a vulnerable and raw experience. Maybe we won't handle it immediately with grace, but he trusts that in time we will come to understand that life is the antithesis of being alone. Spielberg knows this is what drives modern discontent. We are continuously galvanized into loneliness. Misinformation breeds because those in power wish to infantilize us, return us to a state in which we seek protection, where even we believe we can't discern the truth. The truth is somewhere in the middle of everything. Wars are produced by strengthening divides, but empathy doesn't belong to one side, nor does it translate to masochistic passivity. It means even if you don't understand what you hear, you don't give up on the pursuit. So as I discussed before, I do have a special relationship with Spielberg. And so this story, it really moved me greatly. And besides just his masterwork behind the camera and the really like the brilliance of the performances, it's just like Emily Blunt honestly should get the Oscar for her role in this. And so perfect. I mean, who knows? She might get nominated, probably not, but that doesn't mean anything. It's like she's so great in this. Everyone is so great on it, great in it, and I think the audience really appreciated it too. I've never heard more silent theater in my life. The guy like next to me was like leaning forward in his seat. And my thoughts on disclosure are, like I said before, we're probably not ever going to get it in any real way. Who knows what we can trust and not, but the thing I think most is that the reasons we wouldn't get it is that they either look extremely fucked up and they're probably like, I mean, when we first met them at Roswell, it was probably like, dude, we no. No offense, but you are a heinous like abomination to us. Okay, I'm like no one, like we can't introduce you to the world. They're gonna shoot you on sight, and probably rightfully so. You guys look so fucked up. Like our minds could just never wrap around it. So that's one possibility, which I think maybe could be. Who knows? Or the other possibility is like obviously they created us. Which I do think, like going back and forth of like disclosure, non-disclosure. I tend to think about this stuff a lot. Like if there's like a comment coming or something, it's like disclose, don't disclose. Because of the chaos it could cause and how much of our lives, whether you want to admit it or not, is rooted in in faith and religious belief and things like that. So it's like that goes away and these aliens are just like, I don't know, you were kind of like a science fair project. There's really not any importance to any of this. And um yeah, and when you die, and everyone you know and loved who has died, you'll really ever never see them again. I think all of this combined, I think, which is it does have the possibility to throw us into chaos. So do you think Spielberg's outlook on it is much more populist, much more palatable? That it's like, you know what, maybe we're all just a creation in this vast universe and nobody really knows what's going on. And maybe we'll stick with that one. Because I will say, if Spielberg was sent to test the waters on disclosure, I'm glad they sent him first. So anyway, check this one out. I think it was great. See it in a theater. And yeah, it might feel a little bit uncomfortable in this day and age, but I say just go into this one with an open heart, ready to feel something.